Hi, Steve. Janie McCauley from AP. How is Sean doing, and any other updates?
Sean's good. Andre's good. Everybody's ready to go.
First row, far right-hand side, front row, right in front of you. Right, front row, right there.
Oh, Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. Steve, you've been, for the last couple of games at least, preaching for your guys to try and do more driving and kicking. The idea, I presume, is to try and get the defense moving and so forth. But what exactly are you hoping to accomplish if they're able to do that?
Well, it's just basic basketball. It's not anything revolutionary. You make the defense have to work harder. You know, if you can break the defense down, you make a couple passes, they got to work harder. They got to fight through an extra screen. It's always been the best way to play basketball. It's you know, the ball moves too fast for the defense, and if it moves 2 or 3 times as the defense is trying to react, then it makes defense tougher. Just simple stuff, and so it's nothing different or new for us. It's just when you're playing in the playoffs and everybody's locked in on everything, sometimes you're not going to be able to just get what you want off the first option. You got to keep playing.
Fourth row, left-hand side.
Steve, Tim Calcom, The Athletic. You talked after the game about poise and focus a few times. I think specifically it was about the shooting and the offense. But does that come into play with the defensive rebounding too? Is that been a focus thing?
Yeah. When I say poise and focus, I'm not just talking about the offense. It's the whole game. It's the poise and focus to execute defensively. Our transition defense was really bad the other night. We gave up a lot of hoops early in the shot clock when we just weren't aware of our assignments, and then a lot of offensive rebounds. And so poise and awareness, poise and patience applies to all of life, not just offense.
Front row center.
Steve, Mark Medina, Bay Area News Group. Given where Andre is at in his career, how have you seen him manage the workload that he's had extra this postseason?
Yeah, he's doing fine. I mean, he gets it. This is the time of year where there's no reason to rest. You get plenty of rest in the summer. You have to manage the workload throughout the regular season, but you get to a point in the playoffs where you got to do what you got to do to win the game, and Andre understands that. We need him out there.
Fourth row center.
Tony Harvey, Sacramento Observer. Coach Kerr, I don't know if it's been brought up, but what is your thoughts of Eric Gordon play on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively?
I think Eric's had a great series. He's played really, really well for them, and it's one of the reasons they're so difficult to guard, because you've got not just Chris and James on the pick and roll, but you got to deal with Eric as well. So they got multiple players who can beat you in ISO situations or in the pick and roll, and that's how they've built their team. And those guys have three-point shooters around them, so you got to cover a lot of ground. So he's a very, very good player, and having a very, very good series. Excuse me.
Fifth row center.
Steve, Dan Wicke with the Los Angeles Times. This is a group that's by and large been through this 3 times together, kind of on this path towards a playoff run. Is it a team that needs the stakes to be at its highest to get their full attention? Has that been a thing with this group that you've noticed over time?
Every year is a little different, and I don't know if it's quite that simple. I have said this year that the journey gets more difficult the longer it goes. I think any coach in NBA history would agree with that. I felt that as a player with Chicago. The third year was a lot tougher than the first year, and it's just the way it is. You got teams coming after you. You got everybody planning for you. 2 years ago, our playoff run was pretty smooth. Last year, obviously, we had a 7-game series with these guys, so it's never easy. 2 years ago may have seemed easy. I wouldn't characterize it that way. It was smooth, but that was the exception rather than the rule.
Front row center.
Steve, Logan Murdoch, NBC Sports Bay Area. Over in Houston, it seemed like they beat you guys pretty good in the second quarter in both games 3 and 4. How do you combat that going into the game 5?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do rotationally. You know, we're playing our starters heavy minutes. We're buying a few minutes here and there off the bench. It's really more a matter of weathering storms, whether it's the first quarter or the second quarter. It doesn't matter when it happens, but you know when you play Houston, there's going to be a lot of peaks and valleys. They're a team that can build a lead quickly. They can also give up a lead quickly. So you just have to stay the course, which we did in both games, and had a chance to win both games 3 and 4 at the end. So we're doing fine. We're playing a great team. You know, we took care of our home floor. They took care of theirs. And, you know, now we got to try to regain the momentum in the series tonight.
Coach Bruce McGowan with KCBS, just curious to get your thoughts. Steph was talking about how much he's enjoying the rivalry and just the intensity. He said this is what basketball is all about. I know it's nerve-wracking. What's it like for you as a coach? How much fun are you having preparing for a series like this and playing these guys in such great games? It's
fantastic. It's, you know, to convene with the staff and the players each day and go over strategy and watch tape and try to figure out, you know, how to win. That's what makes this fun. You know, this is a privilege. You know, when you think about it, just to be coaching in the NBA is a privilege, but to be coaching with so much at stake, you know, there's a lot of coaches who would, around this league, who would love to be in my shoes. And I think everyone should embrace this because it doesn't last forever. And so we've been in a great spot over the last 5 years. We've had, you know, championship runs. We've had heartbreaking losses. You know, but this is what it's about. You just want to swing at the plate, and you want to be able to go for it, immerse yourself in the whole thing, and enjoy everything. And you know, win or lose, you just compete and go for it, and whatever happens, happens. But you enjoy it along the way.
Second row center.
Hey, Steve. Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. Warriors fouled shooters at the three-point line multiple times last game. From the comfort of a seat watching, you can almost hear people yelling, "Don't foul him! Why are you doing that?" In the heat of action, what makes that so difficult?
I didn't hear the first part.
Fouling a three-point shooter.
Fouling three-point shooters.
Yeah. What makes that so hard in the course of action?
I don't know if we've fouled anybody, but no, we fouled Eric Gordon last game. Steph got drawn off his feet on a pump fake, which is you know, something that we try to avoid. James makes it very difficult. Obviously, he's a very unique player, and he's got a lot of tricks in his game, and he's very clever, very, very strong, and so you just have to do your best to defend him and challenge him, and try not to foul him. And it's, like I said, it's tricky for a number of reasons, but you got to do what you got to do.
Is that it? Great. Okay. I have one more for Monty over here, right-hand side.
Kind of piggybacking on that, how would you assess in general your three-point defense?
Poor in transition. I think that's probably the key area where we can improve. The early ones are the killers. If James is going to dribble, you know, dribble, and do the whole thing and step back and make a tough three with a hand to his face, you kind of have to live with that. But you know, a standalone three in transition when nobody picks up a guy, those are killers. So those are the ones we have to avoid.
Great.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Coach D'Antona will be in here shortly.
First question.
Hey, Mike, can you just give us an update on Daniel House, if he's available tonight or not?
Yeah, I think he'll be available. Yeah, he'll probably warm up. We'll see, but yes.
Mike, a tight series like this, 2-2, two teams separated by 1 point in 4 games. Do you almost enjoy it? Do you like the tension and the pressure and everything that comes with it?
Trying to think, do I like it or not? Well, yeah. What am I talking about? Yes. I mean, this is the best. This is what we worked for all year to get to this point. We got here. Now, you know, it's time to do it. All the guys, you know, that's what we talked about last summer, got it together, had a year that was ups and downs, but we're at the spot where we wanted to be. Now, having said that, you know, it's a great competition. They're unbelievable, and we're going to try to beat them.
Coach, Steph Curry finally kind of had more of his game in Game 4, but have you noticed a difference in Games 3 and Game 4 and just the amount he's handling the ball and bringing it down the court, the way that they're setting up with his fingers being injured?
I don't know about his fingers, but I didn't have a doubt that he wouldn't come out, be more aggressive, and play like Steph Curry. I mean, it's inevitable. The guys will have games where they might not play well, but you know, superstars like at his level, or Kevin Durant's level, or James Harden's level, or Chris Paul's level, they have bad games sometimes because they are human. But I think did you do anything? No. They just didn't play real well or whatever, and they figure it out, and they come back, and that's what makes them great. They come back stronger.
Coach, just curious to get your thoughts about going up against the Warriors so often and having the familiarity with them. Is there an advantage in that respect, or is it maybe a disadvantage because they know you so well, you know them so well, there's nothing that can really happen that you haven't seen?
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. But playoffs are mostly like that. By the time you play a team, especially now, we played them last year, but it was the same with Utah, and then you play them again, you know, 3 or 4 times, you get a feel of what they want to do and players' strengths and weaknesses, and you try to play on that as much you can. But I think that's what makes the NBA so exciting. It's just not one game and everybody goes home or goes on. And usually the best team will come out of it just because everybody knows what everybody's doing.
Mike, the evolution of your three-point defense, how did you get it to where it is now where it's been so good?
Oh, boy. I hope it's good. You know, it's been good. It's just something we emphasize. You know, if we think that offensively we want to take threes, layups, and foul shots and really preach that and try to set up everything to do that, then obviously defensively we want to take away layups, don't foul, and take away threes. So we just make an emphasis, and we'll give up a mid-2 instead of a 3. It's, you know, if it's going to work one way, it's got to work the other way, supposedly. So that's what we try to do, and I just think guys are, you know, just aware of it and do a great job of trying to get out there as much as they can. And the switching helps because you don't have to, you know, help and then can't get back and all that.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.